This is really going to make some of you guys tune out immediately. A success story about people that don't see eye to eye that actually listen to each other and rectify a situation and then move on.
That sounds glorious.
Wow.
That happens?
Where's the drama in that? All right. It really bums me out when we lose, obviously, any listeners at all. And it bums me out hardcore when we lose those of you that we consider P1s, or you consider yourself a P1. And if you're new around here, a P1, without getting into it, is the most hardcore Bert Show listener. We are the S, okay? We could rarely do anything wrong. We could say just about anything, and you're like, I know those guys. Yeah, that hurt, but still, dang, they make me laugh every morning, and we love what they do, so I am ride or die with them, right? So when we get those that aren't necessarily... What's the word I'm looking for? How am I trying to explain this? When we hurt somebody unintentionally to the core, then that really, really bums me out. And it happened a couple of weeks ago. And I don't want to really get into the subject matter because it's a little bit on the dicey side with this particular listener who's not really sharing to you guys why this was such a trigger for her. So I got to dance around this very, very carefully. All right. So let's not fill in too many details. But Abby came to the table a couple of weeks ago with a bit that she thought was going to be very funny. It was a practical joke and we got a laugh out of it, but it hit a certain amount of our listeners really in a very sensitive spot. Something very, very personal to them that they felt like we were joking about that shouldn't be joked about at all. We had one particular P1, like top tier P1, that there's a platinum card.
Yeah.
If there's a American Express black card of listeners, this was this listener. I mean, so much so that she moderates our Bert Show fan page on Instagram that has over 3,000 people in it.
It's on Facebook, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Facebook, yeah. So after we did this particular segment, she posted on the Facebook page, Abby's segment, also capital letters, because a lot of people are kind of upset by it, rocked me to my core and affected me emotionally. So sorry to say, but I'm going to be shutting down this page. It was enough to make me stop listening to the Bert Show permanently. I wish you all the best. And then she tagged Cassie in it. Man, that one hurt. That really, really hurt. That's the most dedicated Bert Show listener we have, right?
And you never want anybody to feel that type of pain.
Never, 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 never. So Cassie and she had a couple of back and forths on Facebook. And then I asked Cassie for her email. And I sent her an email, which I didn't get a response back for. And I sent it again. And she ghosted me there also. But it'll end up okay here in a second. So the email, and I wanted to read this to you guys that I sent to her. I really feel this way about all of you guys. Hey blank, I wanted to reach out to you personally as Cassie has told me how hurt you were by Abby's segment on the Bert Show. Totally understand why that segment would hurt you on such a deep level. You have been such a big supporter of our show, maybe the biggest, I wrote in capital letters. I understand how deeply hurt you were by the segment, and I humbly ask you to reconsider the decision to disable the Bert Show's discussion page. I've received messages from so many really bummed they don't have that board anymore. Many want to start another, but I know you were genuinely invested in the show and would hate it to start with somebody not equally passionate about the show, and that would be really hard to find. Now, I'm omitting a paragraph here because it speaks about the personal issue that she was having, so I don't want to talk about it. Last paragraph. Thank you for hearing me out, and I'm sorry that a show that clearly has brought you so much joy over the years hurt you so badly that you'd want to abandon it. I hate that we were the reason that you were so hurt. And I really, really felt that. Mm-hmm. So a couple of weeks go by. There is no fan page on Facebook. And then was it last week, Cassie, where it popped back up?
Yeah, I think last week or 2 weeks ago.
All right. And she writes on Facebook after hearing us out, hey, everyone, I'd like to apologize to not only the Bert Show staff for temporarily archiving the fan group, but also to each one of you guys. I recently went through a very traumatic loss and took Abby's segment personally, which I shouldn't have. because that's not how Abby meant it, of course, is what she says. This group isn't for me. It's all of us. And she capitalized that. You guys, without you all, this group would be nothing. And she's got a little heart right there. So please feel free to continue posting in here and bringing this group back to how it was. Exclamation point even, you guys. I'm going to be a lot more casual and maybe looking for a co-moderator for this group. I have such black cat energy. I need a golden retriever mod to balance it all out. She writes, LOL.
I love the self-awareness, babe.
But again, I apologize for my rash decision recently, especially to Bert Weiss and Cassie Young. Thank you for letting me open up to you and being just the absolute sweetest. I had a therapy session to continue to work through the traumatic experience I had and just want to be a better admin for you guys. I love you all. Heart again. And I will always love the Bert Show. One segment isn't going to make me stop listening. I'm too addicted to the Bert Show, she writes. LOL. New post. Now post and post and post and bring the fun back to this page. So it's back up.
That's awesome.
That was nice.
And
Really
I'm
nice.
like, I'm so, and I don't know if proud's the right word to use, but I think this is a shining testament of having civil dialogue and understanding the why behind people's actions and what the real motives may be to come to like a happy ending.
Intent versus impact is a thing, man.
Right,
You
man.
know, and sometimes you have to remember that. And I love when people can say, you know what, maybe I took something personally and I know that wasn't your intent, and just be accountable for that, and realize that there is sorry on both sides, and just come to the middle of understanding that you're not trying to hurt each other. I think that's such a great thing. We should do that more.
It takes a big person to do that.
Yeah,
sure.
and I mean it was tough finding out on the air that I was the reason that the fan page got taken down. And I think that's the hard part of this job, is it sometimes feels like even if you apologize and recognize that maybe you didn't do your best in a situation, even if the intent wasn't there, it sometimes feels like you can still get punished for that as well. So the fact that this all came to a somewhat happy ending, I think it shows a lot of hope for the industry, that, you have forgiveness for us and we can have forgiveness for you as well.
And I think, too, it's a lesson that we can all learn, instead of canceling or judging someone. And I understand the initial outright, emotional response based on one action. Maybe look at the track record and the history and realize that people might make missteps or might just do things that you just don't agree with and see eye to eye with. And I think we can agree to disagree on a lot of instances. But this group is fantastic. There's a co-moderator who's another huge P1 now.
But are they a golden retriever?
Yes. Yes, they are. They are. And, I think we're going to go ahead and post it to our Facebook fan page, because I check it daily, this fan group. And the conversations there are just really supportive of each other and uplifting. And it feels like a community of friends, which is why I think so many people mourn the loss of the group, because it wasn't just like, let me join a group, I'm a fan of this person. It was a group where people talked to each other back and forth and were lovely and kind. And it really felt like there were friendships budding there. And for Facebook, that's rare.
Yeah.
That's a rare kind of group that she built. And I'm so glad she brought it back for everyone involved.
Yeah, and I want to say the same thing now that I've said for a while now. It's getting increasingly hard to do this job for you guys. It really is. We are living in a very different time, and we've tried to evolve the best we can without being really boring for you guys. And I'm not taking anything away from her hurt. She had very good reasons to be hurt. But I also think that we come with a resume. When you're listening that long, you know who we are. And if we do something like that, I'm so glad that she reached out to us and said, hey, this is the reason why I'm hurt. I've loved you guys all these years. At that time, it wasn't a temporary break. It was a permanent break. But at least she told us, and we had a chance to rectify it. And with just a little communication, everything is back to normal and everything feels fine. But I just want to reiterate again, when you do a show like that, when you do any show where there are jokes, somebody in the listening audience is always going to take it personally. It's always funny until it affects you, right? But please know that we are never purposely trying to hurt anybody. And if we do, please reach out to us and let us explain our side, and maybe we can come to the same conclusion here.
We're not malicious. We're just stupid.
Save that.
Yeah.
That's
Put it
our
on
new
the
slug
shirt.
line right there.
The Bert Show.